All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, to Bloodlords. We're approaching like session 75 at this point. I think we're a little. This actually might be session 75. Who the fuck knows anymore? Um,
Damn.
so we're pretty damn close to 100 sessions of this campaign. Why the fuck are you all still playing with me? Have you not learned?
Because
Because it's fun.
yeah.
I haven't
Also
gotten to
because
eat
I
a
get
party member yet.
yeah.
Oh, this is session 73. My mistake. Well, since you're all
Potato,
still
potato.
here, in our last session, so many shenanigans occurred. The portal renders that had been discovered underneath the Deathless Arena following Solomon's match sent all of you fleeing towards the Withered Root where you were staying with Lixel and the outskirts of the city, hoping to get away from these detonations before they could go off. You got pretty far before the initial stages of these portal renders activated, opening up numerous portals of varying size and energy emission around the city, each to the abyss itself, drawing in corrupt energy for the final detonation. Solomon, you got yourself and Saltpeter out of the city just fine, while the rest of you ran to the Withered Root, where one of these portals had seemingly activated on the ground floor level. You all tried various different ways to get up the to the second floor where Lixel would be staying. Kashmi turning into a dragon, Amira skittering up the wall, Mahari just fucking walking through the abyssal energies, because who the fuck cares? We don't have time for that. While Aranth focused on casting a locate spell to find the scroll that you guys were fairly certain would actively detonate these bombs. Hearing the sounds of combat brought Solomon running back in to assist, as well as a few individuals of the who had been staying here seemed to have been corrupted and mutated by the abyssal energies, going mad, or perhaps being controlled, no one really sure, and fighting against Lixel and the other sane members of the inn. As sane as you can be in Geb, to be fair.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's limits on how sane people can be. You killed them all pretty easily. Kashmi set up to act as a slide to get everyone out, but right around that time, the spell finished. Aranth, noting that the scroll was much closer than you might have expected, on the roof of a building just across the road. You are able to notice the cloaked and hooded individual in crimson, yellow, black, and gold threads, holding the scroll and seemingly watching the group operate. Throwing some attacks and magic her way between Aranth and Kashmi, this figure chose not to continue watching anymore with their life potentially being in danger, but to simply activate the bombs, detonating the abyssal energies around the city, which caused little to no property damage, instead focusing on flesh, destroying everything.
Yeah, it face tanked me and Solomon.
Solomon and Mahari barely survived, going unconscious, badly injured. Solomon having thrown yourself on top of Lixel to try and shield her from some of the blasts, unfortunately to no avail, as Lixel was rendered atomized, nothing being left behind of her, as you all began to awaken Mahari and Solomon. Also noting that the spacious pouches the two of you characters had also been obliterated. Strange, considering the effects of the portal renders wasn't really targeted towards magic items or cloth or anything, and Amira's, who was in the same area as you guys, was just fine. The only consistency the two of you able to find were that both of you had the severed heads of yourselves. Of course, Solomon not having his own severed head because he wasn't at the wedding, but having the rest of the severed heads in his bag. The figure had vanished by the time you all picked yourself back up, and after taking a minute to take in the situation, you were instead approached by everyone's least favorite piece of garbage. Lorin. What an asshole. How did he get here? Who knows? He might have been telling the truth when he told you he was looking for you guys.
I hate him.
We all do.
But scooping him up
Then why
into
did you not let me kill him?
immediate bear hug, because at the very least you weren't willing to let him get away easily this time. You brought him over to one of the sort of private meeting areas in the city, one more known for not spying on its own customers and selling that information to the highest bidder, of course using Lorin's money to pay for the whole thing. And he offered to openly suggest himself to the Dominate spell cast by Aranth in order to be forced to tell the truth to any of your questions. You asked some questions, he gave some answers. Unfortunately, Lorin did manage to break free of the domination at some point. Unfortunately, he kept it well hidden and none of you noticed until it was too late and a question was asked that he did not wish to answer, it seemed, and he teleported away.
Remind me exactly which question that was again.
That's a great question.
I know.
I believe, if I am recalling properly, that question was asking if the clones, if they are left without any soul in them, could be controlled by others. I might be wrong about that. We'll check the tapes after session. I'll get back to you guys.
Actually, I don't know.
I thought
if
it was when she asked about the fake that he went away.
Because I remember him saying something that it was a possibility that the clones, it's possible they could be controlled, but he doesn't know for sure certain.
I'm pretty sure it was when we asked him about it being basically another, what was it, Aranth? Not Aranth.
You know what I'm gonna do here real quick? I'm gonna pause the recording.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We're back. The question that was asked was from Aranth, asking, did Lorin send the decoys, and specifically Aranth mentioned, did Lorin send a decoy of Amira here?
Yep, I was right.
And that was when he teleported away. So, it was confirmed that they, if they do not have a soul in them, they can walk, they can talk, they can be puppeted by others, but they are effectively not in control of themselves unless there is a soul within these duplications.
And he also said Fort was his lowest save.
Yeah. He's also 3 levels lower than you guys at this point. He is not really a threat. But if you keep letting him get away, then, I mean, he's gonna keep being a piece of shit.
Well, I thought we'd already gotten confirmation that we could kill him, but then it's like, no, wait, we need to talk to him. Like, are you serious?
Hey,
I think Mahari's just gonna kill him at this point.
in the future, he really wanted Aranth to kill him. And was fine dying as long as Aranth was
Well,
the one to
remember,
do
this
it.
is a different dimension.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Right, so next time we see him, I will kill him.
Yes.
Where's your
I mean,
guys' sense of
Aranth confirmed.
adventure?
Except the next time he shows up, he's going to say, actually, I have very important information for you that you shouldn't kill me. And then we're going to be like, ah.
Oh no, we're just gonna kill him anyways.
You're gonna be
Fuck the information.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, besides, Mahari's very confident in his assumption because, like, Aranth confirmed he has his soul back. He has nothing to worry about anymore. Right, Aranth?
We can just talk in Corpse's ass the next time he shows up.
The only way you're going to be able to do that is you need to cut his hands off so he can't make gestures to cast spells.
I can just keep a grab on him.
You do have a way to potentially prevent teleportation with your grabs.
Inescapable grasp.
Very fun feat. All right, so currently you all are just sort of sitting there in mild shock as Lorin has fucked off once again. What would you like to do now, if anything? The city is going to require efforts to rebuild, so it is very likely that your appointment to Nascent Bloodlords will have to be put off, but this might also be a time, if you so would like to get some public opinion on your sides if you want to step forward and help with the fallout of this. Or if you have your own things you'd like to do, or even just, hell, spend more time earning money, you are welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, so I had a couple things. First thing, I think that once we're done here, we should go check in on the Builders League and maybe report to them what we saw. And that one Bloodlord too, that was at the
Delkira?
arena. Yeah, Delkira, we should find her and check in on her. And be
Well,
like, hey, we saved your life. That's cool, isn't it?
wasn't she the Bloodlord of the Builders League?
She was
What-
a blood.
was she?
A bloodlord
Okay.
of the Builders League.
Okay.
Most great factions have more than one bloodlord that is a part of them.
Yeah, so maybe
Not was, is, right?
Yes,
She's still alive, right?
She is
Okay.
still alive. Theoretically, at least. You told her to get out of here, and she teleported away, seemingly taking you serious, so
yeah. So
whether she got out
Carrion,
of the
for the
city or
great-
not.
For the great factions of Geb,
Mhm.
do they have singular leaders that people just don't know the names of, or are they more like council based?
That's a possibility. Most of them, as far as everyone knows, is more so led by multiple people. They're
Okay.
the top members of each faction. But most of the factions are also designed and run in such a way that were they to lose their highest ranking members, it wouldn't be much of an inconvenience to them. There have been ages throughout history where factions were missing the entirety of their largest upper echelons. It was actually probably the Tax Collectors Union, let's be honest, who got somewhat like their leader assassinated, and they just spent a few hundred years like constantly bribing each other to be the next leader-elect. And just they still got everything done that they needed to. There just wasn't a nominal leader during that time.
Well, yeah, they gotta rob people.
but yeah, I'm thinking like, maybe we go to the Builders League headquarters and we meet the Bloodlord there or whatever. But also, okay, so again, just above table, Ali is not going to make a big deal out of this, but Amira needs to make a big deal out of using the potion to bring Lixil back. Is everybody above table okay with Amira flipping out a little bit?
Yes. Also, Kashmir's not gonna bring Lixil back.
Ali knows that. Amira doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Solomon and Mahari are still providing defense between the women.
Yeah,
folk.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what we're doing.
So
We're
expect
just-
that.
Yeah, we're just kind of like,
Okay. In that case then, yeah, sorry, brain moment. As Lorin,
sorry, go ahead.
as Lorin fricks off, Amira is going to turn to Kashmi, because Kashmi currently has the potion, right?
That's
The thing?
correct.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut, Kim?
My bangs are, since I haven't done anything with them, are in my face right now. And I can't, if I put them up, then they stick up and look weird. So I'm playing with my face. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Sorry. Anyways, Mira's gonna turn to Kashmi and say, well, now that that's over, can we talk about how we're going to use the potion to bring Lixil back?
So I hear you. But I say, wait a minute. Like, let's get out of this situation till we're at the end and everything's okay, and like before we waste it and then immediately find ourselves in a situation that we just could have waited through and then erased the whole thing.
But what if there's a time limit? What if there's only so much time until we can't use it to bring Lixel back?
I
We
feel like
lost-
that'd be a pretty shit magic potion.
What if it
Well-
doesn't work as intended?
What if it doesn't work at all? Like, who cares? Like,
Well, if it doesn't work at all, then it should be fine if we try to use it to bring Lixel back.
We're
I
not
just-
even... Hold on a minute. Mahari's gonna like... Amira,
What, Mahari?
I know we've been talking in circles about our predicament here. Is it... I know Lixel, our Lixel, is a part of us. But we're not certain that that Lixel was ours.
Well, do you see any replacement Lixels lying around? I don't.
No.
Wait,
I also don't believe we're not in our home right now.
if the heads disappear, was she responsible for your deaths after she died?
Well, all we know about the heads is that they detonated. I mean, then Mahari will hold up his ruined, spacious pouch. I mean, Solomon, your meat bag is gone, right?
Don't remind me.
Noted. I won't. Sore spot. Got it. So, the heads were, it's safe to assume, bombs of some kind. Lixel gave us, or this Lixel gave us the heads. So either she was tricked, or she was in on it. And we can't afford to be trusting just any old random people right now. Even someone as important in our past as Lixel. I understand, Amira, that you want to bring her back. I wish I could bring someone of my family back, but our survival, and he'll gesture towards everyone in the room, is more important than me wanting to bring them back.
Yeah. Amira is listening, and she actually does kind of like have the look on her face, and she's kind of nodding and understanding. And once you finish, though, Mahari, she's just gonna kind of like bury her face in her hands. Say, I get that, Mahari. I really do, but I'm so fucking sick of losing people. Feels like no matter what we do, we just keep losing more and more people. We lost Falafel and Boomy and all the rest at the wedding, and then we lost Sarian in the abyss, and now we've lost Lixel too. I mean, who else are we going to have to lose before all of this is fucking finally over?
Only the strong will remain.
Mahari will look over at Solomon and nod. Not how I would have said it in the current situation, but Solomon is correct. This is the price that those in our positions pay. I know that doesn't make you feel better in the slightest at all. I'm not saying it to try to make you feel better. It's just a cruel fact of this world that is currently grinding itself into our faces.
when Amira puts her face in her hands, Kashmi would have just immediately cleaved her to her bosom and just...
But if Amira, if I may prove my point that our survival is the most important to all of us, amongst our other goals, and Mahari will look over to Kashmi. Kashmi, can I see the potion real quick? And he'll like hold his hand out. Can I just see it real quick?
Amira will
Almost gonna-
intentionally like move in a way to show that she's not going to go for the potion.
Almost gonna prepare to pounce if somebody tries anything.
Mahari will look at Kashmi directly in our eyes. On the graves that brought me here, Kashmi, I will not use it. I just simply wish to hold it.
Then I will hold my wife with one hand and use the other hand and kind of dig in from this side, just maybe up under a rib, somewhere safe inside my body. And it's not super fast, so like
She's digging for it.
I just got a lot of stuff in there. Hold on.
It
Well, it
takes
could-
you a minute or so, but you
Yeah.
eventually pull out a small glass vial with a golden cork on it that is just filled about half full with a blood red liquid.
She's doing the anime scene where she reaches into her cleavage, just keeps reaching down and down and down and down.
I know.
Pulls it off.
So,
Mary Poppins
I,
first down there.
Kashmi, are you handing it to me, or do I need to like pick it? Okay,
I will put it on my hand and outstretch it, but like only this far.
Okay. Mahari will reach down and pick it up with his claws, and he'll hold it right above Kashmi's hand, and he'll look at it and he'll say, "This. It is our one ticket to potentially set things right, but it's becoming more and more of a hindrance. Let's
I'm
not let
prepared
it
to catch it
consume
if he
us."
tries to throw it.
Oh no. Kashmi, do you still have your hand out like this?
Yes.
Then I'll set it back down in her hand so she can put it back in her body.
Thank you very much. Above table, as you took the vial, I realized that didn't you get pulled into a different channel last week? And why did that happen? And I can't remember why.
That was Aranth when she made a check looking at the cloaked figure holding the scroll.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Because
I stick it in my body.
got to learn things the rest of you don't.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Secret.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so once Kashmi puts the warp realm back into her body and it disappears from our view. So, how, or rather, what should we do now? Amira, I know this probably isn't the best time to be leaning on your expertise, but you have the most experience with this fucked up city.
Yeah, we need to go to the Builders League, check in with them, check with the Blood Lord he saved. Let them know what we know.
Well,
Depending on how big this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mahari.
should we be telling them about the potential other you? Or should we just let them know,
Yeah.
hey, the city, it
The
blew up.
fucking lootly not.
We shouldn't. That's something for us to worry about.
How much gold is she worth?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yes,
I will
What's the
fucking
bounty
kill
on
you
it?
both.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If we get a bounty on Amira's head placed and then turn her in before breaking her out, how much can we earn?
The new source of earned income. It's Eastwood style.
Yeah, that's
Right
the plot of Good, Bad, and the Ugly. The first
know, right?
scene.
No, but okay. Jericho, how long did we rent the room for?
A day. You've got it for the entirety of the day.
And we can go and come back as much as we need to during that day, correct?
Not really. It's more of a you have it for 24 hours, but once you leave, we're marking it as open again.
Okay.
You
At
think
least
they're
we
gonna
didn't pay for it.
like get rid of an opportunity to steal money from people? Yeah, to maximize profits.
Well, it kind of
here,
makes
Mahari.
sense. It
Fair
does
enough.
kind of make sense in a business sense as well.
Yeah,
Just,
they
like,
also don't want
waste
people
it.
leaving with room keys because that opens them to being copied.
Yeah.
So
As this is being discussed, Amira will kind of like sit up a little bit, still like allowing Kashmi to hold her in her arms, and she'll kind of take a look around to everybody, to Mahari, Solomon, Aranth, and Kashmi and just say, I'm sorry for overreacting like that. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize, Amira. No need.
Just please, I know I don't need to ask you this, but please, all of you, promise me that I won't ever have to worry about losing any of you either.
Big hug, big hug, big hug.
Sure goes.
You guys can make whatever promises you want in character. My job here is to break those.
I
This
mean, I'm
party
a
will
figment
not
of
be
her
at full
imagination.
strength
I
come
can.
the end of the story if I have my way.
I mean, I'm a figment of her imagination. I can technically disappear at any moment.
That you could, Solomon. That you could. So don't tempt me.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to tempt you. You know this. You know this too well.
well,
Right.
Amira, I can promise you not to intentionally get myself offed, but I mean, and
Only
then
I
he'll
can do
pull
that.
out, he'll reach into his armor and pull out his symbol. You know who I'm bound to. As desperate as I was at the time, then he'll put it back.
Amira will nod before saying, that being said, if I lose any of you, I am using the potion.
Well, I can't say I'd stop you at that point, because I believe getting one of us back is a good use of it.
What happens if it's in me and I die?
Wasn't that funny, Kashmi? Didn't you just take a feat that if you die, you come back in 2 to
Can't.
4
Never
days?
mind. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine.
So,
Come
at
back
least
as blood.
until whatever is keeping you a ghost is complete, at which point you will fully pass on unless you can find a way to bring yourself back to some form of physicality before then.
So
You're
then
saying
that's
she's
perfect.
a lich until she finishes unfinished business.
Basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're looking for a divinity leech.
That's not
so-
Kashmi's unfinished
we-
business.
Then we
No.
will eat it.
Does Kashmi even know what her unfinished business is?
I mean, probably.
Maybe, kinda, sorta.
To
Should, coulda,
the-
woulda.
There's
Finish
Kashmi's
some
player.
business?
Yeah, that's fair.
Aranth? Mahari will turn to Aranth.
I didn't hear the question. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I just said your name to pivot to you. Aranth, you've been awful quiet. Thoughts?
Just a lot to take in.
So
Someone's gonna pick you back up and put you on his shoulders again.
Yay.
that's her new spot, is on just sitting on Solomon's shoulder.
Wait,
Yeah.
we need
Their
to get
throne.
Solomon.
It's growing on me.
We need to get Solomon some kind of feat that lets him serve as a mount, like officially.
Oh, that would
I don't
be...
need to. Her bulk doesn't even exceed my carry capacity. I don't
Well,
need it.
No, it's about like the actions when a player character writes another player character, so we like need something to fix that.
I don't think she's gonna want to be on the front lines with me.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think she's
true.
gonna want to be that far up.
I'm a little
Alright.
glass cannon, man. You can't do that to me.
A
That's what I'm
smart
saying. Like, I don't think we're gonna do that.
glass kid.
Yeah.
But
Jeez.
Aranth, I know you have what I believe to be good reasons for pretty much everything you do, whether it's your own personal revenge, magic, whatever. But why did you attack Amira? You seemed disturbed. I've never seen you like that.
Can we say that it was because she looked like
Yeah,
Amira?
That was gone over.
She-
Oh,
yeah.
it was?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
she
was.
wanted to see if I reacted the same way that the cloaked figure did.
Okay.
Maybe-
Shows how good my memory is.
Maybe it was the type of attack. Here, let me try.
No,
No.
No,
No.
don't do that.
It's a wind up fist.
Just wind it up.
Look,
Okay.
Solomon, if you want to punch me, you can just go ahead and punch me. You don't have to make up an excuse.
Let's not do
He's
that.
not going
actually.
to. Just, his attempted form of humor.
So, is the goal to leave here and head back to Thanathotmos? See if you can meet with someone important from the Builders League and find out a bit more of how the city is reacting and what you can do here?
Yeah, if everybody else is up for that, don't want to push it as the only plan.
There's probably gonna
Yeah.
be a lot of rioting and looters, so I'm just gonna kill the criminals.
Yeah.
See, funny enough, I think maybe in Gap that's actually not going to be a thing, because I don't know. I guess we'll see once we get out of here.
I'll be right back.
Any kind of panic is gonna have that.
Dipsy just watching as the best girl.
If you was just here to check out what was going on.
Yeah.
Be a menace as per usual. Alright. Well, if you guys want to make your way up to Thanathotmos, as you guys make your way up to that building, if anyone wants to go ahead and get an idea of how people around the city are reacting now that a little while has passed since the detonation first occurred, you're welcome to give me perception checks.
This music reminds me so much of that 60 Seconds Shelter game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like in the waiting periods into the bunker.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Kashmir and Amira primarily get the best sense. Solomon, you're really on the lookout for looters that unfortunately you don't find any.
He's looking for an excuse.
Right. Like, see a couple people moving who look a little shady, so you almost make a move at them, but then you realize, oh no, they just look normal for Mekatar. Whoops.
They're just regular drug dealers.
Right. They're the poor drug dealers because they're peddling on the street corner instead of out of an actual business. So, yeah, Kashmir and Amira, the two of you, definitely taking a bit more of what's going on, and it's honestly probably all not that surprising to you. It's more of a conversation topic than anything else. People aren't really panicking following this set of explosions because most people thought it was some sort of performance art from what you're hearing.
Oh my God.
Or even the few people who are talking about it as like a terror attack, maybe the first strike of Nex having come out from his demiplane. It's more interest, perhaps excitement about war potentially starting, and more so just a number of people who are like, pity it was Greg over there, but hey, at least it wasn't us. You want to go grab a drink? And people, because it's night now, so people are heading out to party and celebrate, and there will be people who are sad over the fact that they've lost some people that they care about. Some of people's like favorite bars and nightclubs definitely did take some structural damage and might not be operating right now, and that'll inconvenience some people. But from what you gather, that's really what the majority of regular people out in the city are treating this as, an inconvenience.
So, ancient, don't give a fuck hedonists going about their day.
Yeah. Bomb goes off, it didn't kill me. Oh well, moving on. Was this the first time in 27 years that happened? Cool. Mark it on the calendar, we'll make a holiday out of it.
Friggin' Mekadar has a holiday every day. Any
by this
excuse to.
The calendar is just holidays. Half the things that are holidays, people don't actually remember, except for like the two people who died in that and came back as undead. So they were the like vocal supporters of it becoming a holiday.
It reminds me of like Catholic saint days, where every day of the year has some kind of saint day, so you can always have a reason to have a feast.
Now, That's how the general public seems to be reacting to that. When you enter Thanathotmos, people are rushing around. There are panicked looks on people's faces. This is much more what some normal people might expect of people panicking and trying to figure out exactly what happened and what's going on following this sort of detonation. And, from what you overhear, part of it is interest. This is a type of energy that isn't often recorded, so they want to get out there, find what type of structural damage happened, and track what caused it. Some people want to focus on some of the more important buildings and find if any of the Builders League's secret holdings in them have actually potentially been opened or accessed by whatever this destruction is. Generally, the consensus is this is an unprecedented event, at least in a long time. How is it going to shake up the political scene, and how can we take advantage of that? You're probably can be pretty confident there are similar scenes going on in most of the other Great Faction headquarters. So there aren't really any secretaries available at the front desk to let you guys go anywhere, but you at the very least know where the office of Archmage Verixel was. If you
Yeah.
wanted to just head there and open their door and go in and
Yeah.
see if they're
fuck it.
available.
Let's do that.
Okay. As you guys, push through some of the crowd, some of the people running around, freaking out a bit, and just make your way down a couple hallways till you enter the Archmage's office once more. Its perfect symmetry is actually very thrown out of whack right now. Some of the bones are knocked off the table and on the floor. Verixel does not seem like they've had time to clean up right now, but Verixel is currently sitting at the far end of the table with about 10 different documents sort of in the air floating around them with quills magically floating and scribbling on them. Likely all different documents that the Archmage is focusing and writing missives and signing notes on things. But they will look up as you all push the door open without any real decorum or anything. Just, walk up, push it open, step inside. Oh. Oh, you lot are here now. Wonderful.
We saw the bomb, well, one of the
Yeah.
bombs, and
So
we
did
saw
we.
the person who detonated them.
That I didn't see. Well, now that's information I'm interested in. How much
Also,
do you
we,
know about this person?
Amira is gonna, well, okay, she's not, because we have the telepathic bond, Amira is not going to actually look over at Aranth, but she's gonna do like a telepathic side-eye at Aranth. But before saying, unfortunately, not much. We can give you a description of the clothing they were wearing. And Amira will go and describe like the red and black and yellow and white robes they were wearing, the hooded robes.
Black, yellow, crimson, and gold.
Yes, black,
Specific.
yellow, crimson.
Very ugly
Crimson
set
and
of
gold.
colors.
Yes.
The Archmage had started sitting up with a sort of superior disgust on their face when you initially walked in, but the moment you said we saw who it was, they immediately leaned forward with an interested expression, and then when you said you don't really know much aside from the clothes, they just drooped their shoulders and got a little exasperated looking. So you have
That's gotta be.
Got their hopes up.
clothing, what they were wearing at the time. Nothing
And
else,
we
no
can
voice,
give
no
you-
facial features, nothing useful.
I apologize. I thought the clothes would be a pretty good lead to start.
Well, magic that can track things like clothes are best used by people who actually saw them. So, while we could attempt to locate it, it wouldn't go very well. If you are able to locate them and want to share with us where they are, we will happily take that information, but just having a piece of clothing isn't much for us to go off of, and quite frankly, there's important things we have to deal with right now.
Do you care then about where we saw them or where we saw the bomb?
The bombs were everywhere in the city, Amira. There were 4 here in Thanathotmos. Why do you think I have so many documents I'm trying to sign right now?
Makes sense. Oh, do you know where Bloodlord, I'm sorry, I'm gonna remember her name at some point.
Valkyra Deathis.
Do you know where Valkyra Death is? We kind of saved her life, and we would like to, follow up on that.
Lord Deathis is either, if she's not out and about, she's in her mansion in the Alcazars, or in her summer home outside the city. Last I checked, she was in the city to watch your match, so no, I'm not certain where she is right now. You saved her life and want to follow up on that.
Yes.
The Bloodlord owes you a debt.
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't go passing that around.
Good.
Well, oh, okay, sorry, can we rewind, since that's something that Solomon could have said over telepathic bond before Amira, like, spoke too much?
Sure.
Yeah, so, what are you thinking, Solomon, about, like, why we shouldn't,
Because A, that could start a lot of gossip that may not be favorable for them and reflect poorly on us. And B, if they know that we're trying to call in favors from a Bloodlord, there could be other stuff happening. So if we could get like the addresses of those places, we can go and try and find her personally.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
my line of
that's...
thought anyway. Solomon's meat brain, so that's just out of
No.
character.
No,
One of Solomon's
I mean,
rare moments of lucidity.
yeah, because, like, my thought was, since this Bloodlord is part of the Builders Guild, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But then I remembered there's fucking rivalries within great factions. And now I'm like, yeah, no, Solomon's or Dice King's completely right. Then Amira will just change it to, like,
Solomon might try to like he'll like shoulder bump you when you're about to mention. He's like, "Don't do it."
Yeah. Then, rather than say, where is she? We saved her life and want to follow up on it. Amira will instead say, where is she? She was at the arena with us, and we just want to make sure she's okay. Which is technically true.
What the bloody hells do you expect me to know? You think I tracked the location of all of our Bloodlords?
Yes.
Yes, actually.
You're damned right. Valkyra's here right now, helping out. I suppose you're interested in assisting with paperwork or any of that, are you?
Thank you for telling us that the
Solomon
first
just
fucking
points at
time.
himself questioningly. Like, really?
Wait,
There's always things people of your persuasion with Solomon.
He
what did
meant
you
the paperwork specifically.
what did you say, Aranth? I missed it.
Oh, when dude says that she's actually there, Iranth will say, well, thank you for telling us the first fucking time we asked.
You're welcome.
For what it's worth, I wouldn't be opposed to helping with paperwork. But first we need to meet with Lord Velkus, and then we'll see where we want to go from there. I don't know about the rest of my friends, but I wouldn't be opposed to helping the Builders League sort out this mess.
Amira, can you go ahead and give me a deception check just to see if Archmage Verixel is going to catch on and perhaps start questioning why you're so interested in meeting with the Bloodlord.
Yeah, sure.
Blind, please.
Yes, of course.
Rude.
You mean rude?
Rude.
Die.
Okay.
Have to look at Jericho's face to determine the role.
Yes, well, she's just down the hall if you are looking to help out after you've had your meeting, then yes, there will be plenty of things that need doing. And who knows, it might be beneficial to you start building a name for yourself prior to your...
Surprisingly enough, I can do things other than just kill people.
That's my shtick. That's all I do.
That's his shtick.
We wouldn't have hired you all if that's all of you for. We have others more than capable.
It's a package deal. We all have our own things, but that's literally all I can do. I have no other skills.
That's okay, Solomon.
I mean, I have
They don't
survivals,
expound
so
on that at
technically-
all.
Don't pity me.
Oh, sorry. Was that showing?
This
Don't
dude's an
take it to heart.
asshole.
I pity all of you.
I love how much of an asshole this guy is because it really encapsulates how like fucking nobody in Gab likes each other.
No,
This is
This
customer
is-
service at its finest.
the capital of self-service. Are you waiting for me to show you?
No,
down the hall?
we're going. We're going.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just
Catch
waves a
me.
skeletal hand.
Kashmir's gonna go incorporeal and walk through his books.
Oh my god.
You specifically choose not to go into the hallway and just walk through the wall.
Yep.
Sure, you want me to make a hole?
Well, Kashmir.
I can do that now.
Kashmir can walk through walls.
I can't.
Well,
And
you
Solomon's
can
like, well, I
walk
can.
through
I want to
walls.
go through. I want to go through walls. No, I'm not doing that, but that'd be funny.
Kashmir, as you choose to just float through the walls and go through side rooms instead of down the hallway with the rest of the party, you come across other people like rushing about, working at desks, doing their best. At least 4 zombies having an orgy, things like that.
What? Hey Solomon, want to join? It's your people.
I
It's,
could eat
Oh my god.
Absolutely, you just kind of float through a wall, and there's a group of people just having their best time of their lives, and they probably, a couple of them, like, stop and look up as you float through the wall, and just shrug and go back at it.
No, I get it. It was a stressful day. Like, good for you, my.
Yeah,
Huh.
let them do what they
Yeah,
want to
Good
do.
for you.
Like,
Huh.
terrorist attack happens in the city, and you're like, yeah, time for a zombie orgy.
Classic Mekatar, what can I say?
And
But
I'm sure that's
eventually,
not. They're not the only ones who have that reaction to the world possibly ending.
after like a minute, you guys make your way down to the... I'm sorry, was someone going to say something?
Can you make him roll performance and see how much
Oh
I
my
tip?
God.
I got a 19 on the die, so...
All right, toss him a gold.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Moving on.
It was a 19 orgy. Like, what?
Moving on, because
I
want him to like
The
us.
coin. They're invested in other things right now.
Fair enough.
You guys make your way down the hall around a couple turns and eventually into a pretty large open area. Not really an office or anything of the sort. It actually looks almost like a lecture hall. There's like audience seating for 5 or 6 rows, and then a stage up front with a lectern made out of skulls. But the wall behind it has almost a crystal-like sheen to it that is currently replaying what appears to be an illusion of the fight between Solomon and the giant in the arena.
Oh,
and
nice.
You see the back of Bloodlord Vethis, because she is currently like sitting on top of the lectern, swinging her legs. And the moment she hears the door open and you walk in, which you absolutely see this, she claps her hands, the crystal wall goes dark, and she hops off the lectern and does like a pirouette to face you all. Welcome!
Lord Vethis, good to see you're still in one piece.
Good to see you all made it in one piece out as well. Quick thinking? Thank you for letting me know, by the way, Solomon. Wonderful fight.
Owen just
must
gives a
say.
nod. Can I get that copy of that?
Oh, you saw that. But of course, I can send a copy to your establishment.
Thank you.
Of course. Where is it you all are staying right now, by the way?
Homeless.
Yeah, isn't that the question?
You can't tell me you're homeless right now. That's not okay.
We had an inn, but it was destroyed in the attack.
Strange.
Well, to be fair, I probably did more damage to the inn than the bomb did.
Yeah, you notice her like starting to think because it didn't deal a ton of property damage, so hearing the inn was destroyed. Well, if
There
you damaged
were-
it, there's not much to be said. But...
There were other. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Amira will tell Lord Vethis about the corrupted things we saw, and we'll ask if that was a thing across the city.
From the files I have been reading on what has occurred, can I get back to you in a couple minutes on that? She'll like pull open a pack to the side that's very clearly a spacious pouch and start rummaging through it before pulling out a couple like file folders, starting to flip through them.
If Amira had mentioned that to Archmage Verixel, would Archmage have known about the corrupted things?
The Archmage Verixel would have made mention that yes, that was seen around the city.
Okay.
Individuals who were too close to the bombs when they went off would find themselves mutating as the energy washed over them.
Mahari's just kind of looking at the ground, whistling because he just face tanked it.
I mean, I
Well,
at least
you-
tried to body block to save someone. Mine was on purpose.
Kashmi, are you about to say something?
With everything that's going on, and the fact that there was just this huge attack, and like all the things that you have to do,
Yes.
why were you watching Solomon's fight?
Why not?
Fair enough.
How about this? I'll put you all up in my mansion for the foreseeable future if you don't make mention of this to anyone else.
Amira will actually.
Deal.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Deal.
say.
So something will flash in Amira's eyes and say, "Actually, can you bring that back up? Does it have the stands as well?"
Well, it's more focused on the fight itself. It sort of does a pan around of the stands before the fight begins. I can see all of us in there, and she will pull it back up and sort of rewind the illusion back to the beginning of the playback. Which sort of starts with the giant ripping out their heart and tossing it to Solomon, who just ends up dropping it in the blood.
Amira is gonna do that thing where, like in the crime shows, where she's like, fast forward, zoom, enhance, and she's gonna try and look for the cloaked figure.
Enhance. Enhance.
Interesting. I would like... Yeah, I mean, it's not very hard to do so, as it sort of pans around the stadium, and when it is looking at the other side of the stands from where you all are sitting, there is, sort of from above, you can see the modeled hood of this figure sitting in one of the stands, just amid the crowd.
Amira would like to, follow this figure throughout the entirety of the footage and see if there's anything she can ascertain from it.
Well, the footage goes off of them pretty quickly, because the footage focuses on the fight in the arena, not really on the stands.
Yeah, the
Okay,
fight
and-
took 12 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And there's...
Does it show the Bloodlord in the pan around at any point?
Because it sort of starts, it starts on the arena, pans out to show the entirety of the crowd, sort of zooms in on Dalkira and the rest of you in the stands before doing a quick sort of 360 around the stands before then focusing back in on the arena itself.
Do we see the suitcase bomb, whatever, before? Like, as it pans to her, do we see
Give me a
underneath her?
perception check.
The
The
may I
stands
make
themselves
that
are like
percep-
solid stone. It's not like bleacher stands.
May I make that perception check as well? Since
Anyone who
I'm
wants to may.
Okay, I'm gonna get that.
That way we know if the bomb was put there during or before the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as any of you guys can tell, the stands themselves are like full stone. So if there was something underneath, it would be hidden from view. You don't really have a way to tell for certain.
Jericho, is the image good enough that I could possibly make, say, a crafting check to see if the stone upon which the Bloodlord sat had been worked in some way? Or is it not clear enough for that?
Interesting. I'd say it's decent enough for that sort of thing. With your perception check, I am going to put a -2 circumstance penalty on the crafting check, but you are welcome to do so.
Yeah. Okay, you said -2?
Yeah.
Is it blind or?
This can be public.
Alright, let's put the -2 on there.
I just realized the fucked up thing is that like I kind of don't blame the Archmage because like a person in a weird colored hood isn't that unusual
Right.
for a Mekatar.
Now, Jericho, I'm just
Like,
assuming
is
that
that a fashion crime? Absolutely. Mahari, that is a failure if you'd like to hero point
Right.
that.
Yeah, first hero point.
Wahoo! And a
Plus
much
10.
better roll. Alright. This isn't something you normally would pay attention to or even notice, Mahari, but
Mhm.
the quality of the illusion is quite good. And so you are able to sort of focus on the stone and seeing the recording now stopped, paused, letting you fully examine it. The stone appears warped slightly. It's like, you know, when there's an AI image that's just uncanny enough that you know something is wrong, but you can't quite place it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the feeling you're getting looking at this stone. Something about it doesn't seem quite right. It's not as like objectively parallel and a perfect rectangle like all the other stone is. Maybe there's like a slight dip to it that's just not quite perfect, and you wouldn't notice it unless you were looking for something to be wrong with it. But there is something
whole
strange
seat
about
was
that
rigged.
stone.
Okay. In the link, I'll ask everyone if I should point that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amira thinks you should.
Okay, so when it's paused on the stone, I'll point a claw out and just there.
Oh, look at that. I knew something felt wrong about that seat. Well, with being an
And that-
arboreal, of course, you don't often feel much, but it did feel saggy compared to normal.
I am sense motivating this bitch.
Go for it.
Did she say incorporeal, Jericho?
She did. You guys
So
know that the Bloodlord Dalkira is a shadow, from what you are able to tell, who is somehow able to wear full clothing and seems to maintain a sense of corporality through that. But
Is the
Hey.
knowledge of shadows and what they are, is that common knowledge in Geb?
oh yeah, shadows are pretty common creatures.
Okay.
They are a type of incorporeal undead. You guys have come across them yourselves before. So yeah, it's very rare to see a shadow get this strong to the point of being a bloodlord, but rant.
Respectable.
Paying attention, like, it's, you know, of course, always hard to get a read on some of the people in Geb, because people like Bloodlord Vethis wear a mask, don't sweat or anything, so all the normal tells for a living person that something is off are hard to come across, but that just means undead sort of have their own ticks, and you've studied enough over the years that you have a good sense of when someone is being deceitful. Bloodlord Vethis right now is deceiving you. Or at least attempting to.
Is this something a Ranth would tell over the group chat?
Yes. Over the group chat.
I mean, that's what it is at this point.
The mental discord.
mental group
Yeah, it's the
chat.
mental discord.
I do think the objective funniest thing about the group chat is technically it only allows 4 people in it. So it's everyone.
Well, it's the caster and an additional 4 people.
I don't believe so.
No, it's you and an additional 4, I promise you.
Because
It's
when we
telepathic
first
bond,
looked
right?
at it, it was you didn't
I'll bet
include
5 gold.
Amira because you could message Amira for free between Kashmi.
Yeah, but we had Carrion.
Yeah, that was back when we had Syrian.
Yeah, now fuck that guy.
I am looking at the description right now.
I'll get to that.
Targets.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I saw. Call
Okay,
me
sorry,
horses.
Sorry.
You gotta fucking murder your characters.
Ah!
Again.
You're gonna do that already.
How dare you
Yeah,
tell
again.
me I'm wrong about things.
You cast
sorry,
Dominate on
Jason,
Solomon with a ridiculously high
No,
PC, and I just
Does
kill
this-
everyone.
Does this do anything while I'm doing the sense motive? I can't remember.
Lie to me? It does force them to make a deception check for you against your DC. So theoretically, if you don't think to try and sense motive, if they are lying to you, I will have already made a deception check and let you know without you having to sense motive that, hey, something's not quite right about this.
Amira does have Lie to Me for reference as well.
Do as well. Lie to Me has not triggered for either of you from this person. So
That just means this Bloodlord is a great liar. That's all that means.
I mean, Bloodlord kind of necessitates having a pretty high deception.
Solomon's just watching the show still, like, I love this part.
it's paused like right on you, tearing the guy's
Like
heart
Hulk
out now that he's
smashing?
dead.
Amira will ask, kind of in that way that's kind of like probing a little bit.
I was gonna
Now that-
say, like, Iranth would have probably suggested someone try to ask something along the lines to kind of get her to trip up.
Yeah.
Are you single?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I want to see where
Okay.
this goes.
Yeah. You open the door.
You didn't say what? You didn't say what?
At the moment, yes. Were you looking for something?
Possibly.
Sorry, the question we're trying to ask is,
I mentioned that there were many times to see about getting
Sorry,
closer.
I didn't hear you.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Amira.
No, sorry. Amira will say, do you know if any other Bloodlords around the city were specifically targeted like this?
Oh, goodness. I'll be entirely honest. As far as I'm aware, no. None that were directly targeted, at least in the buildings. But there were a few casualties in Bloodlords from wrong place, wrong time. You know how it is.
So, what do you think, if it's something you can share, why did these folks go directly after you? Have any organizations you're a big enemy of?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Any that could use something like this, I mean.
Oh. None that I would have thought ballsy enough to do so, no.
Amira will throw out the sense motive at this point.
Sure.
I like how the music is Dance of Deceit.
Very fitting.
I use this song a lot for situations like this. It's very nice.
She's behaving as normally as can be, from what you can tell, Amira.
Then Amira will post a shrug emoji in the group chat. Okay.
Have you fought in the arena before?
I have a few times. It's fun, but most of the time when you fight someone or want to really fight someone, they're too cowardly to actually do the fighting themselves. Will call upon champions and their subordinates to do the fighting for them. What's the point, really? Why fight in the arena if you're not actually going to do the fighting?
Isn't there a way to force them to participate themselves?
Well, you see, most of the people I want to fight have ways around that.
Would I be your champion?
At this point, I could see about it, but I mean, I'm one of the few who does so love fighting in the arena myself. So, it's the fun of
Hey.
using a champion.
Make
I'm
it a tag
challenged or
team
want
match.
to fight, why wouldn't I fight myself?
Finally, somebody gets it.
No, I mean have it be a 2v2 or a tag team match.
Oh, that's certainly possible. Depend. I don't think I have any challenges upcoming, nor was I particularly planning to do any challenging, but who knows? Things do seem to change on a dime around here, don't they?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Huh.
Oh, good.
She just
Oh,
earned
no,
major respects for Solomon. That's why she said that.
She just likes doing all her own dirty work. Mahari's gonna send a raised eyebrow face in the group chat.
Does anybody else have anything
I'm
they
gonna
want to
ban the
talk?
group chat if we're gonna be sending emojis in it from now on.
No.
The Mako
Oh!
Dancer.
The group chat will be banned.
You're not
Roll
the boss of
emoji
us,
face.
Jericho.
I kinda sorta am.
Does anybody else have anything they want to
Always
talk
remember,
to the Lord
a crit
about?
fail sense motive does mean you get a false
True.
idea
Yeah,
of what they are intending.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be a possibility.
Lie to me didn't
Mahari's-
trigger for either of you and Amira. Everything seemed normal.
Yeah.
Its most likely course is that a Ranth crit failed. But of course, it's possible that the Blood Lord rolled very well on their deception. Amira rolled just regular failure on sense motive, and Ranth was the one to roll well on sense motive.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Who knows? I do.
Mahari's gonna say over the vibe to Amira, would it be a good idea to ask her about the new Colo in town with the celebrants, or do you think that would be giving away too much of our hand?
I feel like that would be giving away too much of our hand right now, because I think we should investigate that on our own a little bit, and if we don't come up with anything, then we can start asking around.
Oh, we are still working for the Builders League, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're more so
And-
sponsored by them, so you aren't technically direct members of them, but they will occasionally ask you to do things for them in exchange for the support they give. So
Yeah.
they
Did
have
we
not
get a new
officially
mission?
asked
I-
you to help here.
I know last time we got the mission to investigate
The ghoul.
the targets. So did we get a new mission after we turned that one in?
Because they don't want to constantly be giving you missions. It is supposed to more be a sponsorship that they're giving you, so they're just sort of giving you supplies and occasionally asking for you to do things for them. So they'll reach out to you when they want you to do something. But as of right
Gotcha.
now, you do not have any jobs for them to do.
Sorry, brain. Amira is going to ask her if there's anything we can do to help her in coordinating the Builders League efforts to handle this situation.
Oh, well, there's a number of things that need doing, of course, and let's be honest, this is a great chance to shake up what the other factions have their grubby little hands in, so it depends on where your specialties lie, of course. Public perception will need to be managed. We'll need to potentially negotiate with other organizations and factions for aid and repairs. We'll need to locate and perhaps cleanse any remaining abyssal corruption, things like that. There's so much to do, but only so much that needs doing if you want to help. Don't want to help, though. There's no need.
Amira
Welcome
will
to
not.
retire and rest.
Amira will nod and say, well, if the Builders League is going to be nominating us for Nascent Bloodlords, then we should, prove that we're worthy of that.
At the very least, it'll be good for getting some of the common folk on your side. If not, endearing yourself to some who might become rivals down the line.
Well, there's no better way to get the common folk on your side than to save them from their problems if the abyssal wretches are still walking around.
Quite true. Quite true indeed.
Apparently,
Oh.
I ate my would-be rival, so
Now I have to make a new one for you, Solomon. You gotta give me time.
No
One
rush.
thing I want to say, just so it's out there before I forget it, Amira would like to see if we can investigate the Bloodlord's seat in the arena
Okay.
and see if we can find anything in there.
Yeah, especially because you save Saltpeter, you'll probably be able to find him and get him to allow you to go in and check that out.
Oh yeah,
What-
my little buddy.
Little guy. What we are going to do here, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, though, we are going to have our first sort of time skip for a while of probably a few years, as this will take some time to recover from. You got to remember,
Oh God!
everything goes much slower when people are undead. So
Yeah.
recovering from this, like normally in regular places, might take a couple days, weeks, maybe months to recover from. In Mekatar, because most people saw it more as an inconvenience than anything, there's going to be the work that needs to get done, but it's just going to be slow going. It's
Well, they're also
the
we're all
monotonous and
undead.
tedious side of being an undead.
Well, yeah, time is not a consequence to us anymore.
Exactly. And bureaucracy takes so fucking much longer. So
I blame Kashmi's husband for that.
we will be doing a short little time skip and discussing what you guys are doing during that time and making some rolls, determining how that affects your standing in around the city. And from there, we'll catch back up in real time when it comes time for you to actually receive your position as nascent bloodlords. So
It's like the ants saying good morning. It takes forever.
pretty much. Stand up, stretch, grab some water, do whatever you need to do, and I will see the rest of you in just a few minutes. All right, our movie talk has been ruined. Welcome back, everyone. So, you guys have a while of downtime effectively here. If you want to do other things with it, I suppose I'll allow it. But this is one of the best times to begin building a reputation and a name for yourselves around Mekatar as reconstruction efforts get underway in the coming years. So, is there anyone who doesn't want to help out and just wants to do their own thing during this time period? Let's start with
Aranth does.
Aranth wants to do her own thing, does not care for the common folk. Checks out.
Amira has a couple of things she wants to do. Okay, there's investigating the arena seat. Does anybody remember if there was anything? Well, does anybody have anything they want Amira to investigate?
Keep your ear to the ground about the thing that we're actually looking for.
Yeah, that.
Oh, right. Yeah, the Divinity Leech.
Also, could one of the actual subtle people maybe put a
Oh, yes,
roundabout
Mahari's dad.
jackal?
Yes.
A feeler out for the dad situation.
Yes.
Most
I
of
remember.
those sorts of small side things will come back to. I'm asking what is going to take up the majority of your
Okay.
guys' time during this
Okay.
time frame. Are you going to focus on helping out the city and getting yourself in good with the sort of political scene to benefit you, or do you have other things you would rather be the focus of your time?
Mahari's
I
gonna
want to be the people's champions in the different arenas.
Okay.
Did Arance tell us about other Amira?
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
Then that's
we-
probably going to be my focus. I'm going to find out as much as I can about other Amira and Samitu, and in my off time of that, then I will build a reputation and build my urchin network, and together we will build and help.
Here's the other thing I forgot to bring up early on that I want to mention. You guys all met Lixel in the future, right?
Yes.
I think so.
You interacted with her a decent amount.
Yes.
Mine was brief because I didn't know her as long.
I assume we're just going to bring her back when we use the potion later.
That is something to keep in mind, is the fact that theoretically right now Lixel is dead, but you guys did meet her in the future, so maybe that gives more credence to Mahari's parallel dimension theory. Maybe you've already created a paradox. Who knows?
Actually, I'm gonna DM this to you, Jericho, because I think it's funny.
Oh, good.
Oh.
I love that.
Secrets aren't nice.
Sending private messages is always entertaining.
Secrets don't make friends.
Yeah, Rance.
Yeah, we're not talking about me right now.
Maybe it's Arance words.
Oh, that's an interesting idea, Amira.
Man.
Huh. And I imagine you are going to try and hide that from the rest of the group.
Yes, I'm going to try and hide that from the rest of the group.
Cool.
Double secrets don't make friends.
I am
Yeah.
your wife.
It's probably not going to be hard for me.
Awesome.
I
Oh,
would
I'm
never
excited for
keep anything from you.
That's a lie.
We're going to do your stuff over this time skip last, Amira, just because it seems like you have
Okay.
the most. Solomon,
Yeah.
would I be correct in assuming that you are the easiest person to please with a time skip?
Yeah. So for the two skills you mentioned in Discord, it's going to be athletics, and while my second highest is acrobatics, I wanted to actually go with medicine
Sure.
because he has the corpse stitcher in City of Undead. I feel like that could be the other side of things, like a people's champion in the arena, and on the side he actually is still able to help the occasional person as well.
Here's a question for you, Solomon. In the future you guys come from, the Fleshmonger Federation exists.
Oh.
So far from
Correct.
what you've seen, that does not exist back in this period of time. You could feasibly be the one to start that business if you wanted to.
Dealing in fleshy parts, definitely.
If you want to bring about that part of the future and be the one to start the Fleshmonger Federation, and make that a business that the party runs, you absolutely could do so.
Yeah, I can just hire a receptionist or something to do all the busy work for me.
I assume you'll be hiring a lot of people to do the work for you, but at the end of the day, the profits will still make their way into your pockets.
Solomon starts a pyramid scheme.
Given the idea how many of those exist in
ho.
Mekatar, have you seen the Cinerarium? It is a pyramid.
Literal pyramid scheme.
They wear it on their sleeves here. All right. So
Big
you
parrot
said
instead of a-
acrobatic or athletics and medicine. Absolutely. Go ahead and give me those two rolls, Solomon.
Do you need them private or
These can
open?
be public. They just cannot be hero pointed.
Shit.
Why not? Oh, because they're earned income.
Well, and I'm glad I said this before any rolls were made. Because these are extensive period of downtime rolls.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
which is something I'm going to be keeping in mind. So,
Yeah, sure.
Jericho, please, please.
no.
Yeah, that's about the size of the rolls I was expecting.
You know, fighting in the arena is actually a bit more challenging than you expected it to be, Solomon, especially to remain undefeated in the arena. That's the most challenging thing, because the better you do, the tougher the opponents you get faced with are. Sometimes they're not always death matches. Sometimes there are always other objectives that need to be done, but you tend to specialize in the fight and beat people to the death. Take their body parts when they lose, but unfortunately that also means on the few occasions where you do lose, parts of you end up getting chomped off before the refs can intervene as well. So you probably end up having to go through some modifications as the years go by, as parts of you are lost, new parts added on, as your record in the arena grows. But I'd say with that role in the overall period of time, as well as just how strong you are, you've probably managed to comfortably maintain an 80% win record in the arena.
If
That's really good.
if I sacrificed all 3 hero points, could I roll without the +10 if I reroll low?
Sure,
Just the athletics. Just the
Oh,
athletics.
I'll allow
Oh.
That's
that.
it.
all of them? All right.
Yeah,
can't-
I'm going all. I refuse to accept that for Solomon.
Solomon wants the undefeated record.
You can't get
Roll-
anything
we're
worse
rolling
than
Keith.
1.
Much better.
Okay.
I'm more happy with that.
I'm not going to give you an undefeated record,
I
but I think that's good enough for pushing a 95% win rate, which is nearly unprecedented in the arena, as not many people manage to last that long. But maybe you even end up coming up with the entire new strategy of, if you're going to lose body parts anyways, might as well take them off and throw them at people to distract them.
I do have the grip. I do have the the feet to do that.
Yeah. If if your shoulder might get bitten off, you might as well just tear it the rest of the way off and throw it in someone's face to make them stagger for half a moment and get the grab back. So being willing to sacrifice parts of your bodies in a way that people haven't particularly been able to consistently pull off in the arena beforehand, and then very easily replacing what you lose between matches, has definitely made you one of the legends of the modern day arena in Mechatar.
That's how he starts the flesh mongers,
Yeah.
by selling parts. That makes
I feel
beautiful
like his
marketing
main,
sense.
I feel like his main weakness would be the non-to-the-death ones, where it's like point sparring.
Right.
And with him, like, he eats tons of hits, but in his mind, as long as the end goal is to kill them,
Yeah, the few times you
then
get put in,
that's
like,
where he
sport
goes. But he
matches,
just struggles with like points and finesse.
you accidentally sign up for like a foot race once or twice.
Oh, God.
You get put into like team-based matches on occasion, and a number of your losses are less so your fault and more so just bad matchups for you, or even just the first few times you tried other game types aside from just deathmatch.
Sure.
But after a while, you stop just eating the parts of your victories and storing them, of course, once you have some new preserving bags for yourself and end up getting sort of your own private room in the Deathless Arena. That's a pseudo sort of half suite for yourself that you just sort of end up filling with parts, and eventually begin leveraging some contacts through what the rest of the party is building up, and begin the grassroots of what will one day become the Fleshmongers Federation as you know it to be in the future. It's a bit of a rocky start. A lot of the product has to more be supplied by you, because you don't really have people do so as of yet. But
I get a new meat sack.
I won't give you a
My celebrity.
spacious pouch, but I will give you a preserving bag. That
Just
will,
something to store meat in. Doesn't have
yeah.
to be a spacious pouch.
It won't necessarily hold as much, but it'll keep it just as unfresh as it was when you took it.
Okay.
I would also say, unless all of you guys have other places you would like to stay, if you are willing to take up Bloodlord Delkira on the offer as thanks for your timely warning at the arena, she does offer up her summer mansion about 4 miles west of Makatar as a home for you all to stay in and live at as long as you would like.
Is it also we need to keep quiet about walking in on her rewatching The Illusion over and over again?
That's
Her home
appreciated,
movie.
of course.
Fashion at its finest.
I am just gonna try to facilitate a love match. So I am totally down to try to make a little.
You want to hook her up
I'm
with
confused.
Solomon?
I do. Everybody deserves a little love.
Solomon, run!
Does
better
Run!
than
Solomon
Gruntilda.
want to be hooked up?
I
mean,
don't care. I imagined
he-
him just how he is.
A
to be
sidebar.
to be quite fair with like her demeanor and how she handles things, he actually would not mind. He would actually be down for it more than Gruntilda, that's for sure.
Sidebar, Irant is dibsing the master bedroom this time.
Jericho, is there
That's
a...
fine, but
The master
Tajmi
bedroom
will
is-
sleep in the master bedroom as well.
Solomon's just taking the basement. He doesn't care if there's more rooms available.
Jericho, is there like a huntsman's room?
There aren't like themed rooms in it. It's just a nice mansion. So, if
I
you
mean,
wanna, you know,
is it a nice
decorate-
mansion if it doesn't have themed rooms?
I mean, hey, who's to say you guys can't theme your own rooms during this time frame? Though, let's be completely fair, Rand. The master bedroom is the Bloodlord's room, and she stays there about half the year. So,
Yeah.
I don't
Whatever.
know like, if you stay there while she's there, or you know, she walks in one day like ready to start staying in the mansion for a bit while you're like getting up in the morning.
Switch over, darling.
But she does stay in the mansion with you guys for a solid chunk of the year when she's not traveling, and she doesn't really let you guys know when she's planning to stay or stop staying there. She just shows up sometimes and then stops showing up.
Now, Arant, keep in mind that is exactly how Amira and I ended up in our relationship. So I am fully on board with you sleeping in that master bedroom. I will take a step back and allow you to have full unfettered access.
Well, listen, I don't want to be a homewrecker, okay? So if her and Solomon get together,
Say,
like,
trying to hook them up with Solomon.
yeah.
I mean, love is love, folk. Love is love.
Wait,
Then-
Or
You might want to be on a whole another floor if that's the case. Things are gonna get loud if they do. If
Yeah,
that does be
shit.
successful.
I was gonna say, don't forget, we're also in Geb.
You're a bit quiet.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
I mean,
sorry,
he's got
Solomon.
like
Damn it!
There you go.
All right, how's
47
that?
dicks. I don't know.
There.
Okay, let's not get carried away.
Let's move on.
35.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's this can be an out of session discussion for you guys to have.
Oh yeah,
And,
like and subscribe.
figure it out yourselves, and we'll let you all know what the outcome is next time. But who wants to go next with their couple years of shenaniganry?
I'll go next.
Mahari, what you doing?
Build reputation with the people. I would ask Amira a couple questions before I would go about this.
Sure.
Amira, in your opinion, should I keep my religious affiliations to myself?
I mean, worship of Zon-Kuthon is like really common.
Yeah, super common in Geb.
Well, more so,
Right.
should I allow
Um,
my should I allow my aura to just constantly be on? Because that will signal to his worshippers what I am.
Champion and follower of Zon-Kuthon. Yeah, I think that like maybe even specifically you could work with the Church of Zon-Kuthon, because I know at least in Grey Dirge, right? Stitch Skull was doing a lot of like community work, wasn't he?
Yes. However, I will make mention that while there are those who worship Zon-Kuthon here in Mekatar, it is overwhelmingly Urgathoan worshipping, with this being the main church of her worship in the Cathedral of the Epiphenomena.
Well, yeah, isn't it also the epicenter for her religion on the entire planet?
Yes. So, Mekatar is heavily worshipping of Urgathoa, but Zon-Kuthon worship is still more than welcome and allowed. There just aren't any like major temples of it here.
So it's more like it's more like pockets of his followers that I would run into.
Yeah. So, up to you if you want to continue trying to suppress your aura or let it flow.
Well, you know what?
Oh, good.
I need to rep my colors loud and proud. So let's let it out.
Fantastic.
My two skills are athletics and intimidation.
Nice. I imagine you don't necessarily... I mean, do you want to compete in the arena with athletics?
No, that's Solomon's thing.
Sure. Maybe stay a bit more connected with the Builders League, actually help do some of the bit of rebuilding that does need to be done around the city. Just generally help out in that front. Intimidation, I mean... What Solomon mentioned earlier with looters and opportunists, those people do exist. They aren't super common, but, you know, finding them and deterring them is absolutely something that can be done during this time frame. How nicely you are determining them, I'll leave up to you. Do you get a bit violent, or do you remain peaceful?
If it's specifically on Builders League property,
this is going to be around the city as a whole, just like generally as the years go by.
Move their limbs and roll them down the street like a turd in the wind.
Oh my god.
violent.
Okay. You only have to crack a few skulls before your name starts getting around, but go ahead and give me those 2 rolls before I give any ill description of what you find.
Okay, here's the athletics.
Nat 20, that shit. Let's see. Oh, it's almost a
32.
16.
I know, right? All right. And then here's the intimidation.
Hold your breath.
Nice.
Wow, 2 8s.
Hey, it's my favorite number. Must mean something, right?
I know, right?
It's been rigged.
Yeah. Your name does start to get out there. Maybe not your name per se, but your appearance. A towering colo of malice and anger, who just doesn't put up with bullshit. If you've got shenanigans going on near where he's working, you can expect to have to get some oils of unlife the following morning, as notes of a Colo enforcer begin circulating in some of the upper circles around the city. Mahari, I am going to also ask for a society check from you blind.
Okay.
You don't happen to have Mekatar lore, do you?
No.
Okay. Then just society.
Blind GM roll.
Interesting. Okay.
I didn't realize that I had intimidating prowess as well.
Normally, Mahari, you don't pay too much attention to the words and goings on of higher class folk. That's for other members of your group to pay attention to.
Yeah.
However, there is a name that you are on the lookout for. A figure you are, I imagine, keeping both ears open for to see what you can find. I don't know whether it's what you want to hear or what you don't want to hear. But the name Jackal does make its way to you. A current high priest of a sect of Urgathoa operating out of the Cathedral of the Epiphany. Now, whether he's actually a priest of Urgathoa or someone else, I'll leave to your imagination. But through the descriptions you hear, the phrases being said, It's definitely not a mortal form of the man you once know. But your father is here in Mekatar.
Do they give any pertinent details to how he looks that makes them believe he's no longer mortal?
Yeah, very clear signs of undeath and specifically vampirism. More enlarged and actually serrated fangs. The sect he leads, known as the Feast of the Starved, is actually quite well known for attracting quite a large number of vampires, and Urgathoan worship is punctuated by many, many feasts and celebrations. The Feast of Starved sect takes that to the next level. There are daily feasts, and it's not just necessarily limited to their sect. There are pretty frequent in undead time, so once every few months, feasts that allow anyone who wants to participate around the city to do so, with only a limited number of sort of first come, first served slots. Go ahead and give me a religion check, Mahari. Blind,
Okay.
please.
Sorry, I was writing that down.
Take your time. We are in
Alright.
no rush.
Said religion blind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. From what you were able to gather during this time period, those public feasts that occur where they bring people in to join the Feast of Starved, you haven't heard of a person who has gone to a feast and not joined that sect afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It seems anyone who participates in a Feast of Starved feast joins that sect of worship. So,
I'm just typing this.
Yeah.
So I swear I'm paying attention. I'm just writing.
I believe you.
So
go ahead.
So anyone who attends one of the open feasts always joins the sect.
Yep. At least as far as you're able to find.
Okay. And that's undead and living, the quick.
It is primarily the dead who participate. There are very few quick who do so, but those who do join.
Okay, almost without fail.
While you are processing that, who else wants to do their year of downtime? Or their, not year, but years of downtime here?
I have to go last, so somebody else.
I'll do mine.
Okay. What would you like to do with your time, Kashmi?
I want to find the other Amira, and me too. I want to build my urchin network, and then I want to use whatever other time I have left to build a reputation and help the city.
Okay. So I'm going to allow you to choose a single skill you want to roll to help the city with instead of two, as the rest of your time will then go into looking for other Amira, Samitu, your urchin network, and for that I would like a blind diplomacy roll to gather information effectively.
Well, here's my help the city. Oh, helping it so good.
Remember, no hero points on this.
Oh,
Unless you want to spend all three.
If you have all three, I do allow it to be spent to do a new roll with no +10.
That sucks. Okay, never mind. I forgot.
No worries.
All
If it makes
right.
you feel
Well,
better, I rolled better than Solomon's medicine check.
No, that doesn't actually. No.
Well, I'm sorry. I tried.
Here's my gather information.
Okay.
I'm just an amalgamation at this point because I just roughly put stuff on.
I feel so bad. I burned the city.
Everything's just on fire.
Yep.
So here's the thing when it comes to the information you're Ashmi. Samitu has basically holed himself up in his manor in the city's Alcazars. He hosts a few parties here and there for some of his friends, and there are, rumors that he's pushing heavily with some of his contacts in the reanimators to become a bloodlord, but hasn't really met much success. But generally has sort of become a societal recluse, at least.
I hate his guts.
When it comes to searching out Amira, every time you provide a description, ask around, it always leads to just you're Amira. You end up confirming with her later in the next couple of days, like, oh, what have you been up to? And you realize that the people you talked to, the clues you were chasing down, were just what she was doing. When you ask about the person's cloak, the crimson, the yellow, the gold, the black, again, ugly color combo for like a modeled cloak. There's little more information to go off of, unfortunately. I'm just checking some of my notes real quick, so you'll have to give me 1 moment. Check some things. Yeah. What you are able to learn is that there is a shop here in Mekatar that, based off of the style you were able to describe, seems to work with similar pigments. Has made other clothing that uses similar reds and golds and blacks within them. You find, someone wearing just the gaudiest of cloaks. Not even a cloak, actually, like pants and a matching shirt that look very similar in color, and asking them where they came from. You are able to get the name of a shop called the Coinless Exchange that seems to deal with clothes in similar pigments, but that's the best you get. So it very much appears that if this was actually another Amira, they just sort of vanished into thin air following the explosions.
I'll share what I found with the group. Well, I'll share what I didn't find with the group.
Sure.
Well, unfortunate.
It's little to go off of. But I mean, hey, there's always the possibility that this person just left the city also.
Yeah.
If they're not in the city, there's not really going to be any sightings of
Yeah.
them to go off of.
I mean, if anything, it's good to confirm that they don't appear to be in the city.
But, spending the rest of your time after you look into these things, build up your urchin network, negotiating with some of the lower and middle members of the Export Guild and the Tax Collectors Union in order to secure aid, and also more so ensure that aid is coming from your side and it's your people's names that get stamped on the documents and packages that get delivered around. So even if people don't really pay attention, they know that it's coming from you guys and not from a political rival. Maybe doesn't make too many friends for you guys in the other factions, but definitely gets your names out there among the common folk. The people that make up this city start talking about your group a bit more as your name starts to become known around Mekatar.
Alright.
Aranth, what would you like to do during this time frame?
I think Aranth would probably be rubbing elbows with a lot of the more magically inclined people of Mekatar, so she'd probably be kind of like digging her claws into them, so to speak, to kind of, get in favor with a lot of them. Like the witches, the darker sorcerers and stuff like her, and everything, just to try to, I don't fucking know, like make her own coven? Not even.
Or do you want to try and, meet with the students and professors who work at the Ebon Mausoleum? Or are you more looking for the solo people, the small duos and trios of mages who sort of keep to themselves but are known to be some of the stronger, if not more eccentric
Can she do
practitioners?
both?
You could, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, then yes, she would do both.
Okay. And you want to focus primarily on this, not really do any efforts into recovering the city at all?
I think it would be an afterthought, as far
Fair
as
enough.
Aranth goes, but, yeah, she would do a little bit, but mostly she would be focusing on, the magic users and trying to claw her way into some kind of power.
Okay. Let me see here. Go ahead and give me an occultism check, and I will let you decide between diplomacy or deception for the other check, based on how you are approaching these other mages.
Do we want these public?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yep. It's going to follow the same rule. They can be public, no hero points, unless you have all three to spend on one.
Probably do. Option. Eh.
Okay.
We're not having much luck with these.
I know. I think. I think I will probably re-roll my occultism check
Sure.
because I have all 3 hero points. So
Then you may delete all 3 hero points and just give me a new occultism check.
okay.
Because our heart's not in it, because we're sad about Lixel.
Then am I just deleting it and then redoing it?
You can just roll a new one. I know to not
Okay.
take the 30. Better.
All right.
Certainly better. Yeah. There's a bunch of mages around this city. Mages who are stronger than you, or at least, of similar strength at this point. Much fewer. But spending some time, you do weasel your way into some higher society meetings. There are a number of hag and witch covens around the city that don't operate like the poisoners that you dealt with so long ago now. You have a notably easier time actually meeting with the various professors of the Ebon Mausoleum, just chatting with students in between classes, learning about the various curriculums and whatnot. You get invited to a few meetings every now and then. Quite frankly, you probably get invited to be a guest lecturer on more than one occasion, if you were at all
Yay.
interested. It's, of course, mostly teaching snot-nosed undead teens who are way too rich for their own good, but nothing wrong with getting on their good side. So
I would sit in on your lectures.
would you,
Thank you,
if
darling.
invited, give any lectures?
Yeah. I think she would.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's not a particularly common occurrence, but probably 3-4 times over these few years. After ingratiating yourself in, you get invited to do a lecture here and there just on sorcery and the occult tradition of magic, spells more useful for combat, and also the power of the Harrow specifically. I unfortunately don't really have direct names of important mages you get in good with during this time, but at the very least you are getting in good with mages and will likely be able to leverage some of those contacts as the story progresses.
Beautiful.
Amira.
Yeah.
So,
I've got a lot.
you've got a lot. The thing you sent me separately, how important is that to you?
Ooh. Okay, so let's think about the stuff I need to do. I need to investigate the divinity leech. I need to investigate Mari already investigated his dad, right? So I can cross that off.
A bit, I suppose.
Mahari, would you like me to continue investigating your dad after what you've uncovered?
No, go ahead and do your thing, Amira. Thank you,
Okay.
though.
So Divinity Leech, help Builders League. Does anybody need anything else from Amira?
Mate.
Okay, well,
I'm just kidding. I don't need anything.
I'll
Did
get
you
you
say
that when I
meat
can
or
get you that.
mate?
Meat.
Oh my god,
Ah.
meat.
I've already got a mate now.
Okay, then I guess the thing I messaged you about below helping the Builders League, but above searching for the Divinity Leech.
Okay.
Because the Divinity Leech is a fucking 2-century thing.
You've got time.
Yeah.
Then I will allow a skill of your choice to help with the Builders League, and then a blind gather information to get in contact. Your second thing.
Yeah. Can I use Mekatar lore for
To-
helping the Builders League?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think that looks like?
Just kind of like, since Amira has knowledge of Mekatar, maybe she can do like I almost want to say like city planning kind of stuff. Like,
Okay.
if that makes sense, just kind of like general, I guess, administrative work. That's
Yeah, sort
like
of organizing
boring.
everything that's going on.
Yeah, boring but important, and also like handling that paperwork. Like that can get her a lot of information that she can keep in a little black
can.
book or whatever.
Granted, they're definitely not giving you the important information since you're not
Yeah.
a direct member of the Builders League, but they do
Yeah.
give you personnel files to help manage certain
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and give me that Mekatar lore roll.
Okay. Can I get super taster?
No.
No.
Tastes everybody on her way through the town.
And the gather information roll, I did ask for it to be blind for Kashmi, so I will ask for it to be blind for you as well.
Okay.
For your second thing you're trying to accomplish.
Okay, let me just checking the stuff, making sure I have all my bonuses, and okay, no significant reaction, so I'm gonna assume it's like an average roll.
blow up.
Will manage to contact the person you're seeking out, and you will get a response from them after a while. I'm going to message you. Actually, no, I'm going to pull you into a separate chat.
Yay! It's my
head
turn.
On over to just the server's general chat, and the rest of you,
Okay.
we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Ha,
Hello.
It's
Easier than,
time.
talking around this, so
Yeah.
for the recording's sake, would you like to go ahead and share what it
Yes.
is you are trying to accomplish here?
Amira is attempting to get into contact with Lorin to see if he can clone Lixel.
Sure.
Additionally, if he can clone Lixil, then Amira would like to investigate the possibility of cloning like Falafel and like the other folks.
All right. It takes a while to get into contact with him. You know his lab, thankfully, is in lead. And it's, probably more so trying to get messages out without Kazmi noticing. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But thankfully, she's also doing her own thing over these years, so you have more than enough time where you're not glued at the hip with her. Eventually, you do get a response that, you can't see his face when you're reading it, but you can tell he had just the biggest, stupidest smirk on his face while he was writing it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely loving the fact that you reached out for assistance. He will agree. However,
Okay.
he will make mention that what he needs is probably not going to be something you necessarily want to give.
Okay.
Specifically, he needs to drink blood.
Okay.
If you're just trying to bring Lixil back, some of yours should be fine. If you want to bring someone like Falafel back, he's going to need some of Arant's blood because she has the most poignant memories.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting. Well, Amira will start with Lixil. And if that's successful, then she'll think about a way to get Arant's blood.
Well, he mentions this is, he can do sort of a batch cloning, but this is going to be a one-time thing right now, at least.
Yeah.
Especially since after he disappeared, he's fairly sure he's not in your guys' good graces. So, and he doesn't think that you can promise him protection from other members of your team. So, he would rather keep communications as few as possible and do sort of one batch deal.
Yes.
So, and are you planning, if you're giving him some of your blood, are you going to go to him and let him actually drink from you, or are you just going to, slice your hand open, pour some blood into a little vial, and send that off?
Amira would like to go to visit him.
You'd like to go visit him, okay.
Yes. Not just because she doesn't trust him, but also because she wants to try and get him to trust her as, the reasonable one that doesn't want to immediately kill him and sees his value, even though he's a shithead.
Fair enough. Are you going to try, then, and get Arant's blood in any way during this time?
Ooh.
Are you just going to go with,
I'm gonna pop back into session VC real quick.
I was going to say, I'm happy to pull Arant over here if you'd like.
I think it's funnier if I go back into session VC and just ask in front of everybody.
Fair enough. I will head back as well.
EB.
Hey, Arant, can I have some of your blood?
Who's asking?
Amira. She promises that it's really, really, really important and will be a good thing for you.
Wait, do you want to drink it or do you want it in a cup?
Yeah, in a container. In a container.
That's weird. I don't know how I feel about this.
She wants a sippy cup to go, Arant.
How much blood is needed for this?
You only need a vial, half a vial even. You don't need a ton.
Okay.
I told you it was some fucked up shit.
I think Amira is a very surreptitious person, but I think she respects Aranth enough as a member of her family that she will directly ask her.
You have been asked.
Well, I would fucking hope so.
Look, if Amira didn't respect you this much, she would just try and find some way to get your blood without it being obvious.
Well, first of all, Aranth would ask what the fuck it's for.
Amira would say with one of the most genuine looks you've ever seen on her face, that she can't tell you right now, but she promises you will end up very happy because of it.
And I sense
Sense motive
motive.
that shit.
Are we even there?
No, Amira will be asking this to Aranth in private.
That was out of character. That's not
Yeah.
in character.
Aranth, how much do you trust me?
Oh, that's the question.
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
Because Aranth doesn't fucking trust anybody.
Especially since I don't even think it's a two-way street. I don't think she
Yeah,
trusts you either right now.
like
No,
you know,
Amira 200% trusts Aranth. Amira
Summer Chad.
blindly trusts everybody in her family.
That is true.
Well, I mean, considering Aranth has been tortured, betrayed, and experimented on by the people closest to her, like, trust is a window. Trust is a ladder.
Escalator at that point.
Yeah,
Going
and
down.
a broken one.
So,
Try to walk up a down escalator.
Mm-hmm.
can I ask, like, how resistant does Aranth seem at this point?
Not knowing what it is for outright,
Okay.
and some like vague, you'll thank me later kind of deal.
Amira will say, I can get Falafel back.
See, that's also interesting because, as far as she knew, Falafel was in on the whole thing.
The wedding?
No,
No,
Falafel-
not the wedding. Was in on her upbringing. So that's not even her mom, as far as Aranth is concerned right now.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess Amira kind of just assumed that Aranth would want Falafel back, but if Aranth doesn't feel good about Falafel,
Well,
and
Aranth wouldn't have told anybody. You know, like it.
Oh, okay.
So you are totally free to have Amira make that assumption that bringing Falafel back would somehow sweeten the deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine, you know, but I mean, I'm telling you that, I mean, in character, Aranth would probably be like, okay.
Okay, so like when Amira says like this can get Falafel back, is it clear that Aranth like doesn't care?
It's clear that she hesitates for a moment, and Amira actually, when she was reminiscing and crying earlier about how they lost Sarian, how they lost Falafel, how they lost Nabumi, it was very clear during that conversation that Aranth Alright, hang on, god damn it.
I was gonna say, are you alright?
Colin, it was the cat.
I hope she didn't spill her coffee.
That'd be bad.
I know.
Unfortunate.
For what it's worth, Jericho, it does sound like Aranth probably doesn't want Falafel back. So in that case,
I've got
like,
something to bring up as a
oh,
conundrum for Aranth to consider.
oh boy, okay.
So, John.
Oh, does anybody else want anybody back while I'm here doing this?
Mahari doesn't. If those he cares about outside of this group have gone on, he's happy leaving them dead.
Even your sister?
Yes.
Okay.
No, how many can I have?
I was talking about Mahari's sister. Or are you talking about, like, how many people can you have back?
Yeah, I want them I want them all back. How much blood do you need? I will get blood.
Okay, because the problem is it has to be your blood.
I mean, I'm sure I have blood.
This process, Jericho, can it be substituted with like ectoplasm?
From what all you were told is you need blood.
Okay.
When I'm corporeal, I'm sure there's liquid in the veins.
You do bleed. Ish.
But do you bleed blood?
I don't want to think about what else it would be, so sure.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, my uncle fucking took the floor mat that I got out of the box after I had already put it in the box, and he was gonna help me set it up, and I'm like, no, I don't want it anymore.
That's sweet though.
So does I mean, let me just go ahead and ask. During her conversation with Amira, would Aranth make it clear that she doesn't really care about getting Falafel back?
Yeah.
Okay.
A question for you though, Aranth.
Mm-hmm.
Falafel might be able to answer questions for you. If you have any.
If I don't know that you don't want Falafel back, I'm gonna want Falafel back.
Well, it's questionable as to whether or not Amira would come to Kashmir with this information.
If you said that we could get somebody back, I would make a list of all of the somebodies.
Well, because Amira's having this conversation privately with Aranth, so unless Aranth shares the knowledge of this conversation with everybody else, then the knowledge isn't going to leak to the rest of the party.
And I think the
Yes.
question Amira was asking if anyone else, as anyone was more so above table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'd bring them all back. All of them. Falafel too.
I think
Solomon doesn't really know anybody he cares enough about to ask for it.
I think when posed like that, Jericho, I think it may sweeten it a little bit, only because Aranth would probably, like, Danny wouldn't think about it, but Aranth would. And she'd be like, oh, well, she might be useful for information. If she even remembers it.
I don't know how much Aranth cares about the times that Falafel seemed to legitimately care. For example, I don't think you were conscious, so the group probably told you about it. When you had been kidnapped by your father and Lorin, and Falafel sacrificed herself to save you. It was only saved because Kashmir threatened the universe. So they're definitely... Aranth would have caught on to this. Whether she believed it or not is entirely up to you. There did seem to be genuine love for Aranth from Falafel, from at least the time you spent with her during the campaign.
But I still think, even if the idea of bringing Falafel back was brought up to her, I think Aranth, because she's been experimented on so much, she's like, why? No, why? Okay. Outside of my mom being brought back, like, why do you need it?
It was just for that possibility, but if you don't want Falafel back, then it's not necessary. But I wanted to extend the offer to you.
Can I sense motive?
Sure. Mira, what's your deception DC?
My deception DC is 35.
Okay. You know what I also suppose I need, Amira, is a potential deception check from you, because Aranth does have lie to me.
Okay, fair enough. For reference, Amira isn't trying to be deceitful. She's just, trying to...
aware. There are some...
I'm trying to conceal as though.
Yeah.
She seems to have genuinely pure intentions. Amira, as Amira has connections. She lived in Mekatar for God knows how long. So, I mean, resurrection isn't particularly legal in Geb, but it's definitely possible. There's very likely that Amira knows some people, as far as you're aware. You've probably met a couple people who perform illegal reincarnations. With the people you've been speaking with and meeting over this last year and a half or so at around the time this conversation would be taking place. So, yeah, nothing really seems strange about it. It seems to be coming from a place of Amira genuinely caring about you.
Fine. But not a drop more.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Let me. I forgot to turn my camera on so you can see my. Oh.
Okay. You are, in fact,
What happened?
providing about half a vial or so of blood Aranth for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Then...
If this turns out to be a bad idea because Iran trusted her gut wrongly again, I'm gonna be upset.
Nah.
I'm gonna be upset!
Nah, it's good. It's
I
good.
mean-
I'll light your ass on fire too, just like I did Slezzer.
The one thing that
Okay,
might
if she
seem
betrays us, then Solomon's gonna help.
The one thing that might seem strange to you, Aranth, would I be correct in assuming, Aranth, that perhaps during this time period, would you have been monitoring Amira's movements a bit more closely than normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Soon after you give the blood, Amira leaves the city.
You know that mental breakdown scene in Black Swan? Where she just writes slut on the fucking bathroom mirror in red lipstick?
Yeah.
That's what Arantha's gonna do on her vanity.
Nice.
There.
So Cashmere gets to walk
you
into
need
their
a
room
hug.
and see that.
Yeah.
Beth, do you need a hug?
No!
Would I know, like, can blood, like, okay, like, if Amira gave 5 vials, would that be enough for, like, 5 people, or does it have to be, like, a
You
vial?
weren't really told that. All you
Well-
were told is that blood was necessary.
Okay, then Amira will ask Kashmi for some blood, just in case it's, like, one person back.
Okay.
I guess the question is, would Kashmi intrinsically trust Amira when she's like, "Hey, babe, can I have some of your blood? I promise it's gonna be a really good thing."
You wouldn't even have to promise.
Oh, yeah, just like, yeah, normally.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay. How do you want it? Like,
Yeah. Oh, no, just like turn corporeal for a moment and okay, yeah, just like that.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Blood.
Do we want to go back to the other call, Jericho, or
No, we can handle it from here.
okay?
Because you head out of the city.
Well, I'm going.
Oh, go ahead. Solomon?
Go ahead. Sorry, I was just gonna make a joke. Go ahead.
You head
Actually,
out-
that's interesting.
Are you
Aranth,
making a
if you-
joke?
No.
Yes.
Well, yes. If Aranth spotted Amira leaving the city, would she have sicked Solomon on her? No, not to like take her down, but to follow Amira.
I hug Aranth against her will. Only if
I
she suicides or a
think-
breakdown, though.
So it's how I'm treating this is less that Aranth directly notices you leaving the city, Amira, and more so that
Oh, okay.
Aranth catches on that over the next couple days, you don't come back to the mansion at all like you normally
Okay.
would.
I apologize.
From the
Never
people
mind.
she's talking to, no one's rubbed shoulders with you in the last couple days around this city. So it's less so that you just seem to have disappeared from the city rather than
Okay.
directly watched you leave.
I understand. Never mind about it then.
Okay. Because, I mean, she wouldn't have sicked anybody from the house on her. She would have utilized some of her favors with some of the cult mages.
I mean, once you know that, I imagine Amira left most of her personal effects aside from what she needed to travel behind.
Is it scrying time?
Absolutely get some people to scry on Amira while this is going on.
Does she tell me where she's going? Because I feel like the first night she doesn't come home.
Amira will tell Kashmi that she's going on a trip, and that it's
favorite
Your
rocket
favorite rocket ship. I love you guys so much. Then I'm gonna, after the first night, I'm gonna telepathic bond her or whatever and be like, yo, wait,
Well,
where you at?
Maybe it would have wore off at that point because it's for each day, and you have to recast it because it's 8 hours.
Yeah.
So
No, but we're in love.
Yeah,
you can still send planetary range messages. It's just not the telepathic bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, our love messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can check on.
I'm just talking about the bond specifically.
Amira will say, "Oh, I'm on that trip. I'll be back soon, and it's gonna be good."
Amira. So
You see why your aunt was fucking sus?
Important. I actually need you to give me a will save, Amira.
Yeah, against the scrying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose DC are we using?
Don't worry about it. I have a DC.
Open or blind?
Let's go with.
Oh boy.
That way.
It is funnier that way.
You have hero points, Amira?
I do, and the fact that you asked so quickly suggests that I do actually need to use a
I
hero
didn't even
point.
see what the result was when I asked. I was just asking as the roll was going.
Yes,
So,
I do have 3 hero
I am
points.
still going to ask you, would you like to use one?
Okay, well, no.
She's one of the few people who didn't roll like shit when she was doing her city skills.
All right. All right.
Still giving a rant that hug, though.
Rant, over the coming days, utilizing
Put me down,
your
please.
connections, you watch as Amira heads to lead.
It's an actual hug, don't worry.
Not lead! God damn it!
Okay,
Fuck this town.
I have to ask Aranth, what do you think is happening? Or I guess Nyx, what do you think is happening?
Me personally, above table, I think Amira is probably telling the truth about her going to the temple and talking to the Lich that we accidentally made.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a whole story. It was a pre-Aranth kidnapping.
Okay, yeah.
The priestess that was absolutely in a body before Aranth blew up the temple and that priestess became a lich. Oh fuck! Okay, I'm getting my towns mixed up.
Lead is where Lorin lives.
Okay, you can't just go and say it like that.
That's how you guys.
I was gonna say it.
Yeah.
That's how you guys know Lead. It's
gonna be the first party betrayal.
It was where.
No, I promise it's not a betrayal. I promise.
Oh, it's not the betrayal's not going to be from you.
However,
It's
what I am
everyone's
going
ideas
to
of what
say
happened to you.
is the day after she makes it to Lead, Aranth, scrying stops working on her. And so you know she arrived in Lead. You don't know anything more than that, though.
How long does it take her to get there?
Good question. Are you taking the Flesh Bridge transport, Amira?
Yeah.
Fantastic. It actually takes a while. I forgot Lead is so fucking far away.
Quick, someone zoom in.
Miles.
Someone zoom in on Jericho's fucking window in the background, and then we can see what he's doing.
I'll close my blinds. Don't test me. So I mean, with the Flesh Bridge,
Windows aren't
it
even
takes a
angled
week
correctly.
to get there.
Every day I'm gonna message her with increasing urgency as to why she's being so vague as fuck and why she had to to lead.
You don't know that, Kashmi. Unless a ranch
Well,
shares that.
Yeah, does a ranch share that?
Kashmi at this point would have come to the family and been like, yo.
Something's fucky wucky.
Right, I don't feel so good.
Just a little bit.
Drink
I
more
don't feel
water.
so good, Mr. Stark. Yeah, I think Aranth would probably share it with Kashmi anyway. If Kashmi was like knocked down her door and is just like, "Hey, where's my wife?" and Aranth just filing her nails, and be like, "Oh, she's in lead."
Do the thing.
Great, because Kashmi doesn't even have to knock down the door. She can just walk right through it.
I I will on occasion forget and walk through the door, realize it's rude, and then
Go back
like-
out and then knock.
Yep.
Go
Correct.
back out, take the minute to turn. You know what's even funnier? If you walk through, realize it's rude, turn corporeal, open it, leave, and then knock on it. It's convoluted, but
Unlock-
entertaining to me.
Unlock it
Excuse
from
me.
the other side.
Right.
We'll back through.
Or I come
Housekeeping.
through and I don't feel like it's dramatic enough, so I go through, turn corporeal, and then bow the door open.
You get
Either
your
or.
inner Solomon
That
going
feels
every now
better.
and then to kick the door open.
That's why she made Solomon as a fucking tank to knock down doors, because she would do the same.
I was
No,
gonna
I
say, like,
want.
do we even have doors left in the mansion at this point after years of being there with Solomon?
Surprisingly, the manor servants do replace them quite quickly.
Oh, good.
They're just those saloon doors now.
At this point, yeah, probably.
There
Yes.
ends up being an extension after, the first year or so. That's like an extra wing of the house. That's just a hallway full of doors for you guys to kick open as you want.
It's like a fucking rage room for Solomon specifically,
much.
so the doors stop getting broken.
He made an entrance like a doggy door specifically for Solomon to go into the
Yeah.
basement. They just stopped and let him go through the front door.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Sorry,
yeah,
Catherine,
if
go
I...
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honey, why are you in lead?
I think at that point, Amira might leave Kashmi on red.
Then my next message would be, if you don't give me a damn good reason, I'm coming. And I'm gonna bring everyone.
Amira will say, "I'm getting everybody back."
He's gone off the deep end, folks.
I'm gonna
It's
tell
official.
everybody, now we all have to go to fucking lead.
God,
God damn it!
I have to see Lorin one more fucking time as Aranth's hair is in like fucking hair rollers in a bathrobe and shit after Kashmi's like, "We're going!"
Amira, you're in the middle of getting your blood drunk while having that conversation.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Oh, okay, fucking. When I get there and talk to Lorin, can he use my blood to bring back multiple people, or is it like one person per?
He's going to say
donor?
one person per vial of blood.
Okay.
So you have yours, you have Arant's, and you have Kashmi's. So
Okay.
that would be Lixol.
In all
Lixol.
fairness,
Nabumi.
I would have given her like 3.
It's more so one person, because otherwise you could just get more vials from Amira.
Yeah.
But and I mean, hey, maybe he's bullshitting you, but you also remember his lab only had like 2 cloning beds in it last time. So,
Okay.
but he will take the vials of blood, take the blood he drinks from you, and immediately spit it out into a vial.
Why didn't
That's
you
weird.
just?
Why didn't he just ask her to cut her hand open or something?
Pervert.
That's
Fucking
that's
pervert.
unsanitary.
Sorry, I wanted the taste.
Fucking
Anyway,
weirdo!
I
He wanted it from the tap.
will have these finished up and sent to your domicile shortly.
Brother,
I assume highest quality is what you're looking for?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I will make use of these and create perfect replicas for you.
Blech. I hate him.
As soon
Um,
as they hear that she's in lead, Solomon wouldn't care. But as soon as they mention that we're going after Lorin, then he'd perk up like, all right, let's go.
Amira will ask Lorin, will it be their original souls in their bodies or something different?
Oh, well, let's hold on a moment. Souls were never part of the conversation.
No.
I was making copies of their bodies for you. I don't have ways to get their souls back. Are you kidding me?
You're not gonna fucking kill him before you guys even get here. Amira is gonna grab this motherfucker by the collar.
Whoa! Hey, we went over this back in Mekatar. The soul is required. I don't have access to that. Do you think I had an easy way into the boneyard? Just
Okay.
toddle on in, grab the soul, come back? No, that's not how that works.
How does one get access to the to the souls? You've done it before. I know you've done it before.
It's easy when it's my soul. Nice and simple. I just transfer it over before I die.
It's easy when it's my soul. Nobody wants it.
I can't fucking believe I've been nice to you.
Well, real shame indeed. Should I consider this deal off, or do you still want the bodies of the people you love?
Will they at least be preserved? Can we, like, hold on to them?
Of course. You can do whatever you want with them.
Okay.
I hate you.
For what it's worth, I think the rest of them might be coming here.
Well, that's fine. I was planning to move shop anyways. So,
We're gonna kill you so good.
you'll receive them in good
Or is it
condition
right?
in short order.
Okay.
Amira is a traitor.
I hope I never have to see you again, Lorin.
But I hope to see you all so many times in the future.
Amira
What?
just flips him off and leaves.
As you turn around to leave, sorry to interrupt, Kashmir, I do just want to get this out. As you turn around to leave, you can see like the telltale signs of the teleportation magic appearing behind him, and he'll just say, "By the way, thanks for Arant's blood. I did need this," and he's gone.
Fucking asshole!
Oh.
This is why you don't go off on tangents.
Hey, Solomon, you want to go grab a drink?
I've never
that code
actually
word for
fucking
something?
punched the air before, but I just fucking shadow boxed my goddamn monitor. Oh.
So now Lorin is going to have a clone of Aranth.
No, that's not what he's using.
So, Mahari, do we go on a rampage now or when we get to lead?
I
Both.
yeah, let's just do both. Fuck it at this point.
Okay,
Cut off the
listen,
middleman.
no, Amira was not intending to betray anybody. She just wanted to get everybody. Look at Jericho fucking swinging around in his chair like a.
Oh,
fucking-
yeah.
Bro's fucking kicking his feet and giggling over there.
He's got the biggest victory smile.
Oh yeah, that is the most satisfied of smiles on his face.
What a beautiful
That is the victory dance. I love it.
That's
Oh,
where we're
my
gonna end
question
our
is,
session for
what-
today.
Oh, you fucking little piece of shit.
My question is, Amira, what were you expecting? What were you trying to do?
I thought he could get them and their souls back.
Maybe he can. Maybe he was just lying to you. Who knows?
For what it's worth, I still think this is something Amira would have done, even if Allie knew better.
Oh, excuse me.
You have to remember, Amira, you didn't offer any form of payment for this. You just asked for it as a favor.
Well,
You
okay,
didn't ask for payment, but you didn't offer anything.
I assumed we were gonna work that out at some point.
I never assume in business.
Isn't Bloodlords the great place for learning? Did you have something? I'm sorry, Kashmir, I did interrupt you. Did you have something you were going to say?
I think that Kashmir would have teleported. Like, since I've been to Lorin's house, I know where it is. I know where Amira is. As soon as... Yeah, we've been there.
Well, but do you have some kind of teleportation thing?
Couldn't I just buy one? Yeah. I would have bought one, like... The
Actually, can you cast
urgency...
that skill?
Teleport is a 6th rank magic of the arcane and occult traditions. You could have feasibly...
The range is 100 miles.
It is, so it's... Wouldn't quite get you there. You'd have to purchase 3 of those scrolls.
And that's, like, pretty expensive. Like, a 6th rank scroll is 300 gold, so it'd be 900 gold to get all the way to lead.
I mean, at this point, I think we could scrounge that up, especially if she wanted to bring people with.
1900 gold. I have no problem donating.
Hasn't purchased much, so yeah, you could just finance those.
And actually, if we wanted to save money and get a 7th rank, we could do 1,000 miles.
You could. At 7th rank, you can't really.
It's one
cast right now.
One-time use.
As long as you had the tradition, you could cast higher level ones.
Yeah, as long as you have
scrolls.
the
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was thinking of staves for a minute. You cannot cast rank spells from staves.
Aranth, can I have some money? And then I would teleport over there. If I teleported over there, would it have happened before?
Yes, because teleportation is not perfect. It's not going to put you exactly where you want to go. It's going to put you somewhere roughly, like 1% off of where you want to go.
It's like several miles
reference,
off of
Kashmir, you can bring everybody else with if that's something
you
that...
can bring you and up to 4 targets, so you could bring the whole group
Oh,
with you.
Yeah, then that's what I would have done. We would have all teleported there.
Could I have gotten a
Sorry.
part-time assistant to manage the paperwork of the fleshmongers one?
So yeah, you would probably arrive some 3 miles outside of Lead. So you'd be able to get there pretty quickly, but what happens with Amira and Lorin is going to be done by the time you guys get there.
I think when you guys get there, Amira's just gonna be sitting on Lorin's stoop, looking completely fucking defeated. And when she sees you coming, she'll stand up and say,
Well, hang on, let's plan this for next time. Let's not
we're
stay
gonna
at a
take care of
time.
this next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's build this up a little.
I do just want to say this so it's in everybody's mind. Amira's gonna stand up and say, anybody that wants to hit me, go right ahead and do it.
Bahari's just gonna look over.
Oh wait, no, it says.
Well, we don't know what happened yet. All we know is that she was in Lead.
Okay, quit trying to play the fucking devil's advocate here, Solomon. Amira is sitting on Lorin's his fucking porch. Okay,
I'm not.
You look at her face. We all know what happened.
I'm not doing devil's advocate. I'm just trying to roleplay. I want this to be a traumatic scene. I want to actually play this out.
Well, think on it. Think on your guys' reactions. We are going to take care of it in full next week. Just so I can do the housekeeping mechanical of it now. Who's spending the 600 gold to purchase the scroll?
I have...
Which one?
A 7th scroll of teleport.
Oh, yeah.
Which would get you there. If you wanted to purchase a second one, you'd be able to use it to then get back if you guys won.
I have 20 gold left. I cannot help with this.
So Solomon's financing the whole thing, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, unless if I get income from the fleshmongers during those years, then sure.
Not right now, no, because I gotta math that.
So we have one scroll and we need a second one.
No, we just need one because we're doing the 1,000-mile one.
If you want to buy a second one to then get back, you could. But if you think you just take the regular way back, that's fine.
I currently have 600 gold. Can I give you 300 gold to help with?
Yeah, I was gonna say we can go halfsies
okay, so
if you want.
300 gold from each of you, please. And remove that from your inventory.
And I'll be up front to absorb the first hail of bullets to support my end of them.
Rush forward. You rush out to a shop. meet with some of Arant's contacts, pick up a scroll of teleport, and immediately cast it to head off to Lead, arriving a bit outside of the city, unfortunately, but having a pretty damn good idea of where in the city you're exactly going, and rushing straight there. But what actually happens from this, and where it will go from here, we're going to take care of next week. Thank you all so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed this.
GG's.
And I'll see you all next time.
Oh, Nix, I just